Okay, we'll get started in just another minute. All right, I'm going to get started now. So welcome to our EP students who are joining this presentation. This is going to be a presentation about myself. I am your designated life design educator. That means basically career advisor as well, but I'll talk a little bit about what life design concept is and my role as life design educator and working with you. So this presentation is going to cover a little bit of how I can be of assistance to you, a little bit about Life Design Lab, which other universities might call career development or career services. And then if you're not yet familiar with the use of Handshake, I'm going to give you a little bit of navigation through that as well. So my name is Mark Savage, and I am the Associate Director and Life Design Educator for Engineering Masters and EP students. So I serve all of the engineering master students at the Homewood campus. There's about 1,000 here in Baltimore, and the EP population, and there's about 6,000 or 7,000 of you as well. But not all of the EP students necessarily are looking for career changes or things of that nature. So it's not as daunting as it might sound at first. So a little bit about Life Design Lab. The mission is on the left. I'll just leave it for you to sort of look through. I'm not going to read it to you. Other universities will ask students, what do you want to do when you graduate? And oftentimes students don't really have a good idea of that. They might have a generalized thought, but they really don't know for sure. So life design is taking the same process that engineers might use to design a machine part or a computer program or an application, and apply the steps in that planning process to one's life course or career choices or things of that nature. So it's a little bit different than career planning as well. At the undergraduate level here on the Hopkins campus, there's one of me for every 2 or 3 majors as well. I serve all of the master students, excuse me, with the exception of applied math and statistics on the Homewood campus, but I do serve those students in areas like financial math and data science in the EP program. And then at the PhD level, there's another person by the name of Roshni Rao. A little bit about my background. So most of my career was spent as director of the engineering career office at Cornell University. So that's where most of my background is. And it's given me a lot of experience working with engineering students, with graduate level students, and with international students, of which 70% of my students here at Homewood are international. After I left Cornell, I spent about 3 years doing sort of an online career job search course with representatives from another couple of State University of New York campuses. And we developed an online career course for use by the SUNY system. That's 64 campuses 460,000 students, something I wanted to have my thumbprint on. And through that process, also had the opportunity to co-author the textbook that goes along with that e-course. Then I did a couple other things. So a year at Gettysburg College, working with liberal arts students. A year at College of Southern Maryland, which is a community college. And, I didn't really care for that. And I came back full circle to working with engineering students at a world-class institution. So that's a little bit about my background as well. And hopefully that will be enough to be able to, provide some guidance in your course moving forward. For those of you that are in Baltimore or who might be visiting the event on September 24th, Life Design Lab, along with a couple of other on-campus programs, have just moved into a recently completed building called the Imagine Center. It's on the far end of the football field, 113 University Parkway. It's a fabulous new facility as well. And so I spend some of my time there, some of my time in the San Martin Center, where the EP staff is also located, and some of my time on campus meeting with students in person. So these are just some photos inside this new facility. It's open every weekday from 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening. So these are some of the things that I can provide assistance with, and my email is in the upper right corner. So career pathways, I might be able to, maybe I don't have expertise in all the different fields, but I got enough that I might be able to sort of give you some advice or some suggestions in terms of how you might be able to use the career paths and the degrees that you are currently involved with as EP students. Some of the things that I sort of want students to understand is how can you take your previous experience, whether that's as a student, maybe in a different major, or in your work experience, and how can we present those other areas as strengths to move forward whenever you're able to do your internship search or your search for full-time employment. So I'll give you an example of that. Last year, I worked with a student who was in environmental engineering, but his undergrad was in computer science. So I think you can pretty much understand that most people graduating in a field like environmental engineering are probably not going to have a huge background in computer science. So we worked with that student to sort of indicate how could he actually use computer science to make him stand out among the crowd and present that as a strength. And he was able to do that and eventually got 3 offers pretty much at the same time. I can help with networking and connecting with other people who might have similar interests to you. We have a program called One Hop, and I'll mention that a little bit further, but it's open to all Johns Hopkins students. Think of it as a mini LinkedIn for the Johns Hopkins community. So it's basically a large group of alumni who are interested in mentoring students. And you would go into the website, input your profile. The system will actually suggest alumni that might meet your interests, and then you would be able to connect with any of those directly. Once you're able to sort of start connecting with other people, maybe people that you may not know, what do we say to them? So I can help you through that process as well, right? And basically, we want to ask people to tell you their story. We're not going to ask them for a job because they don't know you. We're not going to ask them for help with a job, although they might volunteer that once they get to know you a little bit. We're going to ask them questions like, how did you first get involved in this type of work? What do you do every day? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? And if I were to follow in your footsteps, and I would phrase it that way because that's going to make them feel a little bit honored, what advice would you have for me? So you want to present yourself as someone who's exploring maybe a new field or a different direction to your career path, and you ask people to share their experience and their story with you. And if done correctly, you're not going to get 100% response rate, but you'll probably get about 80% as well. And at some point you won't be able to shut these people up because people get excited when they connect with other people that have similar interests. when you're about ready to create a resume, cover letter, things of that nature, I can help with that process. Right now, here on the Homewood campus, I'm getting overwhelmed with that process. So, yeah, it may take me a little bit if you want help with that immediately. But anyway, I can certainly assist with those kinds of things, and oftentimes either meet with you or sometimes actually like play around with a draft of your resume and then get back and meet about, here's what I think, what do you think? Job search strategies, so it's not just sort of going online and responding to job postings, right? There are a lot of companies that never post their jobs or their internships. They basically go to their employees and ask, if you refer someone to this job and we hire them, we'll pay you $3,000. Why do they do that? First of all, they know they're not going to get 10,000 resumes. They're not interested in going through 10,000 resumes, and probably 9,500 are not even qualified for the job. Secondly, they know their employees are not going to send them people that are not a good fit for the job. And thirdly, they know their employees are going to be happy to get a $3,000 check for having referred someone who was successful in landing the job. Once you are offered an interview, then we can talk about interview strategies. What do you expect? What kinds of questions might you be asked? How can you prepare for those questions and things like that? Okay. So Life Design Lab, as I mentioned, Life Design uses the same concepts that is used in a design process and applying it to one's career path or to their education. So some of the things that Life Design Lab offers are programs on career paths involving alumni or employers, or workshops on job search strategies, tools, how to write a resume, how to interview, how to give an elevator pitch. That is a 2-minute or 2-minute or less introduction of yourself to someone that you would want to connect with. I have individual appointments, and if you are on Handshake, you will be able to access and make those appointments electronically through Handshake. And I'll talk a little bit more about that very shortly. Most of you probably would not be doing things in person, but if you're in the Baltimore area and you want to be in person, you can sort of indicate that. And there are a couple places I may be able to do that. But for most of you, that's probably not going to be an option. We would do mostly virtual meetings. Drop-in hours, so you can read that there. Wednesday afternoons in the Imagine Center. Thursday mornings I'm also up there, but virtual would be by appointment or by connection. And then there are events and programs. So again, you would sign up on Handshake to attend seminars or presentations by alumni in specific fields. A lot of employers will have presentations because they want our students to know about their opportunities. And I know a lot of the EP students are not necessarily looking for new jobs. Many of you are getting degrees to sort of advance within the companies that you're already working for. So by default, I pretty much end up working more typically with students who are looking for new positions or looking to change directions. And eventually down the line, we may be able to expand our offerings to opportunities like, how do you ask for a raise, or how do you develop professional connections, or things along those lines. But I'm not quite there yet as well. And then again, you could sign up for programs or events, as mentioned before. And there are also jobs and internship postings on Handshake. These jobs and internships are only available to Johns Hopkins students, and yes, EP students qualify for that. So generally, anything that might be related to career or job search. For any international students out there, if you have specific questions related to visa issues, CPT, OPT, I know a little bit about those, but anything that's a little bit more specific, you will really want to reach out to the International Students Office. So just to mention a couple of upcoming events, I hope that you've been made aware of some of them. So starting next week is something called Future Fest. It's sort of Johns Hopkins' version of a career fair and more. This year, it's going to be 3 weeks. The first week is basically workshops and information sessions on things like, how to prepare a resume, how to do interviewing, how to prepare an elevator pitch, things along those lines. We do have some presentations on Friday, the 16th, that are more geared towards the interests of international students. Wednesday, the 14th, is going to be mostly preparation workshops and seminars to then be able to engage with employers. The second week, 19th to 23rd, but mostly the 19th and 20th, is going to be the career fair portion of that. The 19th will be technology day, and the 20th will be sort of all other days as well. And then the third week is basically going to be presentations that would be more of interest to undergraduate students who are looking to move into graduate study. Boot camp workshops. So this weekend, I'm doing a series of boot camp workshops, mostly for the students that are here at Homewood, new students as well. I will present a little bit later a link to go into those. They'll be done this weekend on resumes, networking, and interviewing. Each one will be presented 3 times. Friday will be devoted mostly to resumes, so 2 one-hour sessions. They're the same on resumes, 2 one-hour sessions on Saturday for networking, 2 one-hour sessions on Sunday on interviewing, and then each day there's 1 3-hour block, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that incorporates all 3 of those in one sitting. Meetups by department, that probably won't necessarily pertain to you. And then internships, alumni presentations, workshops, those are things that are typically offered here as well. Okay, so here's some of the links for that. Maybe if this is something that you're interested in, you might want to take a photo of it, because I don't think I have access right now to the chat that I could put that in. All right. I'll give you a quick second if you wanted to take a photo of that. Okay. So I already mentioned Future Fest, and this is the link to register. You must register for each week that you're interested in participating in. And this is the link for that. bit.ly LDL stands for Life Design Lab. So LDL Future Fest info with bit.ly on the front. And if you want to take a photo of that as well, go ahead. Okay, I've already sort of mentioned this, so this is sort of the areas of focus for each of those. So I'm going to move on. Now, there are other resources within Handshake. These are the kinds of things that you can do. At some point, you'll post your resume, it may be a cover letter. When you're ready to look for jobs or internships, you could post as many versions as you wish. You'll sign up for career appointments with me if you're interested in doing that. You may be able to learn about office hours. That's also on the calendar for Handshake. My office hours virtually are going to be Tuesday nights from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the evening, Eastern time as well. And again, they're on Handshake, so you could just go there. They're drop-in. You don't need to sign up for them. Sign up for programs and events, and then posting your resume and cover letter. If you want to make them searchable by employers who might go into the system to sort of like data search or data source resumes, there's a button that you can flip to allow them to do that. If you don't want them to do that, you don't need to do anything, because it's already set to not allow for that. And then you would apply for jobs and internships. The jobs that are posted on Handshake are only available to Johns Hopkins students. Now, that doesn't mean that other universities may have their own version of Handshake, and yes, companies will post at more than one place, but that's when you apply on Handshake, you're only seeing those things. And then if you're selected for an interview, you'll be able to sign up for those. Other tools beyond Handshake include the following here. So VMOC. VMOC is an electronic resume critique system using artificial intelligence. Again, the link is there, www.vmoc.com/JHU. You can take a picture of that, or you just search for VMOC and Johns Hopkins, and you'll come up with it, or you can search on resources within Handshake. So VMOC uses artificial intelligence to sort of critique your resume and give you feedback on it. The way to do that is you click on the link, you upload a PDF version of your resume into that website, and within a couple minutes, you'll get a response. You'll get a score between 1 and 100. And if there are points that it's, tells you what sections you did well in, what sections might need more work, it'll point those out. However, keep in mind that it's using a particular algorithm to sort of do these critiques. So, oftentimes one size does not fit everybody. If you have questions about what it's indicated, if you choose to use that, bring it to my attention and we'll work through it together as well. You can use VMOC up to 10 times per academic year. So 10 times between now and I believe July 1st. OneHop is a Johns Hopkins alumni mentoring platform. Think of it as a mini LinkedIn for the Johns Hopkins community. It's not associated with LinkedIn, but the same concept, right? So these are Johns Hopkins alumni, several hundred of them, who have offered to provide mentorship to students on, career or related issues. And again, it's onehop.jhu.edu, and these are also located on the Handshake platform as well. You do need to register yourself if you're interested in participating in that. It'll basically ask you to input a profile. When you complete that profile, the system may actually recommend or suggest alumni whose interests might fit your background. All right. InterStride is a new tool that we've just signed on for. I think it's going to be a wonderful resource for any of you who might be international students. It says coming soon, but it is currently active. MyVisa.jobs is another tool for international students. Case Coach, if you're looking at opportunities in the consulting field, they typically use a Case Coach interview format as well. So basically they will present a problem and ask, how would you go about solving that? It's going to be something that you would have no clue to be able to answer it. What they're interested in is what is the analytical process that you would go through and what extra data do you think you would need to try to solve that problem? Okay. And if you're on the wrong path, they will sort of pull you back into the right path. Forager One, I'm not sure how useful this might be for those of you that are in Baltimore. This is sort of faculty postings of research opportunities on campus. Excuse me. LinkedIn is not a Johns Hopkins type of thing. I'm guessing most of you have accounts on LinkedIn. If you're not, if you don't have the paid account, LinkedIn groups, it might be something to look at. To do that, you would go into your LinkedIn account, you do a search on Johns Hopkins University. It'll take you to a page that has 20 different sections on it. Within the top 3 will be something called Johns Hopkins University Alumni. It's got about almost 24,000 people in that. You would click on that. It'll ask if you want to join the group. You click on that. Within a couple of weeks, you'll get an email saying you're in. As long as you've got connections to Johns Hopkins University, once you're in, you will have direct access to all of those 24,000 alumni without having to pay the $40 a month or whatever it is to LinkedIn. And if you have a degree from another institution, perhaps in the US, you could do the same for there. And then LinkedIn, I'm guessing most all of you are familiar with that. So Handshake, this slide looks a little bit confusing. The main thing I want to show here is some of the things that are listed in color at the upper right. You follow the arrows down, it'll show you where on the menu that is. So all of the things that are there and more are going to be on your menu. Your menu is going to look a little bit different than mine because I've got an administrative account. So, but all of the information that's on my account will be on yours. It just might look a little different. So when you go in, you're probably first going to come up with a page that looks something like this. It won't have gibberish. It'll have actual text there. And you're going to click on Career Center. That will then take you to all the things that are available or that I'm going to cover next. This first slide that I'm showing here is something that I see. I don't think you're going to see it, but I put it up there just in case. If you do, you would just explore on career options, but I don't think you're going to see this. You're going to come to this slide or something like this. It only have one choice on it. Okay. Engineering Master Students. You're going to click on that, and that'll take you to a page that'll look like this. Excuse me. The days that I have appointments available will be brightly colored. The ones where there are not appointments, they're either all taken or I haven't put any in for that day, are going to be a little bit blurred out. If you click on one of those that's active, it'll give you choices of interview of meeting times. And then if any of those meet your schedule, you just click on that as well. Although the times here listed are for half-hour increments, all of my meetings are scheduled for a full 1 hour. This is a vestige that was left over when my undergraduate colleagues were doing one-on-one appointments. They don't do that anymore. Those of us who work with graduate students are the only ones that do one-on-one appointments. So just keep in mind that if you are signing up for a schedule here, we would have a full hour if we need it. Your confirmation will also show a half hour, but it'll be a full hour as well. Usually you're not going to see appointment times that would be in the evenings, but if you work and you want to have a meeting with me in the evening, just send me an email and we'll schedule that manually. All right. Programs and events. Okay, I'm just using my mouse here to change things, and because my arrow button isn't working. Okay, so programs and events, you're going to click on events. On my screen, it's got 3 different things listed there, but each of those events, fairs, and appointments are 3 separate links. Click on events, it's going to take you to a very, very long page from events that are starting today. That will go all the way through whenever the last event has been scheduled. It might be, it might be July or something like that. You're going to focus on probably the current 3-week period, generally, or you could scroll through this as well. So basically, it's going to list all kinds of different seminars, workshops, presentations. Some of these. You look down second to the bottom, Life Design Lab orientation for new master students. That's basically what we're doing now. So that's something that is done by our staff or done by me. This is an old slide. So, everything is going to be listed as virtual because COVID was happening then. You look at the one on the bottom, that's something that is presented by Google. And, towards the top, there's something presented by Oracle. So employers are always on there because they want to market themselves to Johns Hopkins University students. All right. The first line is going to be what is the title of the program. In the center will indicate whether it's virtual or hybrid or in person. The third one is going to sort, who is the sponsor of the program. And then it'll basically have the date, the time, and link. If you wanted to look further, you're going to click on whichever block you want to look at. The numbers here, I'm not sure if you're going to see that, but this is the number of students who have registered in real time. I think you might be able to see it, but you might not. So you're going to click on event. It's going to take you to a page like this that gives you more detailed information and a link to the event as well. On the left, again, I'm not sure if you're able to see this, the number of students registered in real time. Checked in won't happen until the event has passed. You'll see invited, that is a very large number. That means that probably for this particular event that I ran, I probably invited students from Homewood. Maybe I invited EP students. Maybe I invited students from the School of Medicine or public health, or students from other majors, BME, mechanical, electrical engineering. That's why that number is so large. You may see a good number of invitations. If they're interested, look at them. If they're not of interest, just trash them. Okay. Accessing resources. So you're going to click on resources. It's going to take you to a list that's about 13 pages in length, and they're listed alphabetically by school at Hopkins. So you see at the top, Carey School of Business. That's the business school MBA. At the bottom is the nursing school. In the center, you see Homewood. And that's basically where you want to focus your attention on either Homewood or university-wide. Homewood is going to be publications that are available to you. So these are publications that you can view online or you can print out, and they're on different topics. This is just a selection of that. If it says published, it means that it's active. If it says drafting, it means it's either being updated or it's being targeted for removal. Then if you scroll all the way down to page 12 and 13, and unfortunately, you just need to click 13 times. It doesn't allow you to skip the pages or to go backwards. I'm not sure why that is, but you're going to see university-wide. University-wide listings are resources that are interactive computerized websites. Okay, so you click on any of those things that say published, and it's a site that you can interact with as well. And this is just a smattering of that. The same thing, published or active, drafting are either being updated or eliminated. To view jobs and internship posts, so you're going to look through the listings here. First column is the title of the job that's being posted or internship. Center will indicate whether it's a job or an internship. Who is hosting it? So, oftentimes it'll be a company. If it says Johns Hopkins University, that's someone that we are doing. The dates, the first day is the day that it was posted. The middle date, I don't think is something you need to be concerned with. It might be the first day they're accepting resumes, and the last day is obviously the application deadline. So to see any of these, you're going to click on the one that you're interested in taking a closer look at. Again, that will give you more details. The qualifications will be listed at the bottom. You will need to meet those qualifications. There will be an apply button on the left-hand side further down. And you need to meet the qualifications in order to apply. All right. Coming close to the end here. So I do have a listing of video workshops that are online. So you can access these online through the URL that's posted there. You can see that there's 2 for resumes and 2 for networking. The first one, number 1, is sort of like a standard resume video. Number 2, the deeper dive, that's more details, and that is actually narrated by a professional, someone who's a professional opera singer, happens to be my boss here at the Whiting School as well, Associate Dean for Engineering Graduate Programs as well. And those are videos that you can watch on your own. There's also one on interviewing, cover letters, and elevator pitch, which is how to present yourself in 2 minutes or less. For international students, there are PowerPoints, not videos, on telling your story, U.S. job search, and employment in the U.S. For international students, the experience that you have in your home country does count here. Skills are the same no matter where in the world they were acquired. If you've not yet activated your account on LinkedIn, you'll want to go to this site, handshake.jhu.edu. You already have an account, and you had that from the day that you were accepted into Hopkins. If you wish to activate it, you need to then go into this link and complete your profile. At some point, you're going to upload resumes or cover letters or anything of that type of thing. The only, the only things here is, so I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought. My text was ringing here. Yeah, so you need to activate your, if you haven't already, then you'll get an email from joinhandshake.com, and that will ask you to sort of confirm and give permission. So because you might be posting your resume on a Johns Hopkins platform, Johns Hopkins needs your permission to do that. So that's what that's about as well. And if you have questions along the way, you know, let me know that as well. You have to, I don't know how that got on this page, but that's sort of the website for the Imagine, which incorporates Life Design Lab and a couple of other resources areas. So it's basically the website for Life Design Lab and more. My email again is listed here, and again, I am your designated, you know, Life Design Educator. Let's see if I can pull this as well. I see that there's a question here, but I'm not sure if I'm able to see that. So the person who raised that question, if you still have it, if you're able to mention that, feel free to do that. If not, send me an email because I can't see the chat box.
Hi, Mark, can you hear me?
All right. Again, you know, these are one slide that has some of the different you know, URLs that I presented here as well, but this is being recorded, so you could access them any way that you want to. I just thought it would be good to have them all on one slide here at the end. And that's basically what I had to present for you today. Oh, I can see the chat now. Let me see if I can. Oh, no. The workshops on the screen that I showed are available virtually as well. Yes. To make an appointment with you. Yes. So Matthew, you're trying to make an appointment right now. There's nothing there because as soon as I update it, I get slammed with them taken. I'm doing appointments now until like 10 o'clock at night as well. For you know, resumes, interviewing, networking, I am doing the workshops this weekend. I will try to enter more times for sign up over the weekend for next week as well. It's just as soon as I put them in, they're grabbed. The workshops. Okay, I will see, and I'll go back here. I think this might be the slide that you were interested in, Sanjeev. Yeah. So these are videos or PowerPoints. And again, they're all listed in this last slide. Hopefully you were able to all catch this. I'm guessing that you did because you were getting questions in the chat. Any other questions for me as well here? Oh, all right. Very good. Oh, one more. Okay. The slide, so this is being recorded, and I believe that the EP program will sort of make that available someplace. Okay. Otherwise, do feel free to reach out to me with any issue or question at my email address there as well. All right. So if there's anything else here, I'm going to stop sharing for now, unless there's anything else. Thank you for attending, and I look forward to with chatting some of you in the very near future. Oh, I'm sorry, Mauricio. Okay, so you'll be getting a copy of this in the very near future, and appreciate your being here today.